Hello there to my Saggies. Hello to my Sagittarius. This is Queen Moon Ra coming to you with your general reading. Sagittarius, we're going to get right on into it. Happy Monday. For those of you all who've been with me from the very beginning, thank you. If you're coming back, thank you. Either way, thank you. Welcome for and thank you for joining us. If you're coming back, thank you for coming back, right? This is the last day of this cycle before entering into a new phase within a new cycle, okay, Sagittarius? And so this reading is going to take us out through until the 29th, but readings are timeless. All readings are timeless, right? So I'm just giving you that just in case you're looking for, let me start watching some videos. But yeah, I'm just telling you what the moon phase is in currently. The moon is in Libra. Libra rules 7th house. That's a relationship, the house of relationships. And the 7th house traditionally denotes marriage and partnerships, but also the idea of open enemies, quarrels, and disputes. So it's the house of contractual partnerships, but also litigation. A deeper look reveals the interesting links between these things, right? The other half, when people project things onto you, open enemies, like in court, right? Relationships, marriage, engagements, all of that. So somebody could be an open or secret enemy of yours based on who you were married to, who you know, somebody could be enemies of your kids, you know, their families could be enemies and you not even know it. They could be secret enemies, right? Families, you know, of people, and people not know who's connected to whom. How are you going to know everybody who's connected? People got different last names. You just don't know who's connected to whom, right? But somebody felt like you are the karma to another. You are the karma to another Sagittarius, because something was overwhelming for someone. Somebody decided they want to bring a tower down on someone, and so you being in the presence of something, realizing who someone is connected to in some way, shape, form, or fashion, actually brought a tower down on, or brought you or somebody's karma. Believe it or not. And because somebody was being ruthless, they knew who was connected to whom secretly and was overdoing something. Whatever they were doing, they was overdoing something. And didn't tell you, but it was exposed. Something was exposed because they were being ruthless. And what they were saying or what they were doing, right? But their soulmate does not necessarily mean a lover. A soulmate could be somebody that flows on that same frequency. Somebody can go on that frequency and flow with what they're going through, like flow through something with them, like walk through them in the spiritual sense. Their soul is connected. They flow with them in that way, right? And realize that something was overwhelming for someone, right? And because people were just being ruthless, it's almost like a person taking their anger out on your kids when they really want to come for you, right? They pause because it's your temperament. They're not sure what your temperament is, and so they talk to your kids a certain kind of way because they don't really know how you're gonna respond, right? They catch you on a certain day. Like you can go with the flow because you're a mutable sign. They catch you on a certain day. They cuss at you. You may go off. You're a fire sign. You may come back with a blowtorch as a fire sign, right? So somebody, you know, may take it out on your kids. Your kids could be a different zodiac sign. They could have been raised to respect, you know, elders. They could have been raised to respect a certain group of people, but they may not know that somebody secretly has a vendetta against you. Right? And why are they being extra mean to them and not knowing who's connected to whom, right? So that's what somebody's starting to pay attention to. That's what somebody's starting to pay attention to. Spirit invites you to travel inward this week, to seek the higher truth, not in movement, but in stillness, through compassion, patience, and awareness. You reconnect with sacred purpose and rediscover freedom through faith, right? The themes for you are higher wisdom, soul realignment, spiritual expansion, compassionate truth. Your focus, Sagittarius, is going to be, can you merge purpose with peace this week through divine awareness? Sometimes it happens within opposite sides of the family. somebody has a bone to pick with you, Sagittarius. So their family could take it out on your kids because they don't like you, the one that looks like you, or the one that favors you in some way, in spirit or in physical, that kind of thing, takes it out on the kids because you're not there, right? So Source is trying to help somebody to slow down and see how much people have in common here, right? And how somebody is able to pick up on how people are overwhelmed. But the way I try to explain psychic gifts, because people think it's, entertainment, is it's really best practices. When a cycle closes out, this is what I try to teach, the light side of the moon. So many people practice dark moon magic because they feel like, okay, that's going to be the quickest way. Yeah, you can become educated in it, but practicing it is only going to overwhelm you. Everybody can't handle it. Everybody cannot handle, just the, oh my God, waking up the next day and going, I'm having these nightmares. It literally drives some people to drink. That's why you want to stay on the light side of the moon. I don't promote violence in any way, shape, form, or fashion on my channel. And I would say it's better for somebody, if people are being ruthless towards you and what they're saying, it's better for you to say, okay, even if they say you're a quitter, to just leave. That's an open enemy. Somebody standing there and they complimenting you. This is what an open enemy is. Somebody who's supposed to have your back just as much as you have theirs. And as soon as somebody shines a light on something that they like, it doesn't matter who it is, they compliment you. Even if your person is smiling extra hard, that's your time to give, like, yeah, they sure do look good, don't they? Pull them in closer, even if that's your person. That's not the time to be ruthless. To be, that person is, they ain't that smart. You got to instantly pick out something negative about the person. Then they might as well be by themselves. Or even managers doing it to their own employees. Y'all supposed to be on the same team. And somebody says, hey, your employee, they worked on this project and they did a phenomenal job. Oh, wow. I didn't know you had those kind of people on your team. Like, we would love to work with, instead of a manager taking an opportunity to say, yeah, we are a team, I hire stars, taking it as, hey, this a compliment to them. They go right into pointing out something awful about the product of their intelligent decision to bring somebody on board. So that's an open enemy. That lets you know right then and there, hey, this person sees you. Yeah, they want you to make them look good, but don't get any more extra shine, right? So somebody's starting to learn what an open enemy is, and that's 7th house. Find out what your zodiac sign is in your 7th house. I also do birth chart readings as well. So let's get into your reading. Your card opens up this reading. Spirit says this week is about rediscovering your truth, not through seeking outside yourself, but by listening within. So let's see what's happening here. Temperance. You're still starting to see something from a higher frequency. Your card opens this reading. Divine confirmation of balance, peace, and inner alchemy. Spirit says you are the bridge between heaven and earth this week, right? You're learning how messages travel. I feel like somebody could have told you that somebody was being bullied. This is what I'm picking up on because I'm seeing this right here. The symbol for Taurus is bull. I feel like somebody told somebody out their mouth that somebody was being bullied. And something just wasn't clicking or registering. Almost like, I think people are still getting divine masculine, divine feminine mixed up. So let's break it down for a second. So observing and redefining the volume and quality of giving and receiving you are allowing or blocking, right? We all embody divine masculine to divine feminine energy, but contrary to common belief that feminine equals giving, the characteristics of feminine is actually to receive and create from what has been received. So the example that I like to give is with cooking, right? You receive your groceries a particular kind of way. By the time you finish preparing it and putting it out on the plate, that is the masculine. How you received it. You said, okay, I received it. And okay, what am I going to make with this that I received? I received the groceries, however they were delivered to you. You went to the store, however you received it. What am I going to make out of this? Right? You even heard the term make $1 out of 15 cents. Whatever, however you received it, what are you going to create with it? Right? Feminine energy is creating energy, right? You receive something, what are you going to create? Right? Even with a seed being planted in a womb, right? What comes out of that, right? It's a product of something, right? The product. So the purpose of the masculine is to hold a container for the creation and channel it to the right place, right? So Source is saying to you, whether you're single or by yourself, you're whole and complete when you know how to balance it out. And that's what the scales of balance is, where we're talking about Libra. So you could be feeling something in your kidneys, your bladder, your veins, or your skin when the moon is in Libra. You know, you could be scratching your head. You could be feeling overwhelmed by something. You could feel like your bladder is full. And why do I have to keep running back and forth to the restroom? You know, why am I having this total recall of some things? Sources could be trying to tell somebody it's time for you to get your rest so you can start seeing some things from a higher frequency, right? It's time your body is going to be healing while you're getting some rest, right? Somebody could have been overwhelmed, you know, by people being ruthless and talking to them any kind of way, being bullied. But somehow, Sagittarius, I feel like somebody told you that. I feel like somebody told you, you know, that somebody was being bullied. Whoever you are, you can be a man or woman. Somebody said out of their mouth, this person is being bullied. You're now seeing something from a higher frequency. You're now seeing something and how ruthless somebody has been going through something for a long time, and how ruthless people talking to them, yelling at them, talking down to them. That's what Knight of Wands energy is. Somebody sees it as passion, but they weren't showing any compassion. Y'all know how people be cussing their kids out and talking down, and you'll never be smart. How come it's taking you so long to process things when this one over here, like comparing grandkids? How come this one over here, they pick up stuff right here? They graduated from college and you barely got out of high school, because they really want to take it out on the father or mother. But they taking it out on somebody, but they won't take it out on somebody who they feel like they don't have that temperament for that, right? You're learning how to see something from a higher frequency here. You're learning how to see something from a higher frequency. So that's a member of your soul tribe. A member of your soul tribe, somebody who is compassionate enough to say, okay, somebody is overwhelmed. Somebody is overwhelmed and nobody can see this. Like nobody can see this person is starting to drink. They're starting to be on drugs. They're starting to be oversexed. Like nobody is seeing that somebody is overwhelmed. And you're not seeing beyond that. And this is the reason why some people do not trust themselves nor their kids around people. Not because nobody else around them sees it. They don't see nothing. Everybody just like, oh, I guess that's just going along with the flow, right? Oh, I guess how if somebody want to be famous, I guess that's what they have to do to be famous. They can sit there and watch somebody get drunk, passed out, sick, vomiting, all of that. Won't say one word. People talking to them any kind of way. They smell funny. They losing teeth. Their hair falling out. All of that. It takes somebody sometimes to go into hermit mode to recognize, hey, they are part of your spirit team. They're part of your spirit team to tell you, hey, listen, learn how to start creating some kind of boundaries. That's why some people don't want people around that's going to create a firm boundary. When they know a person is a star, they don't want somebody around that's going to protect that energy. Everybody just sitting around riding a star, riding a wave. And that's what I'm seeing here in your cards is like, no matter how strong a person is built, some people eventually you'll see cracks in a foundation and they'll become overwhelmed. And so your foundation, here's the root here, your foundation is built on spiritual truth and timeless wisdom. And Spirit invites you to reconnect with the sacred practices, prayer, meditation, or study that nourishes your soul. You know, when you hear people say things like, is this person slow? Is this person, do they have a learning disability? You know, those kind of things, and not know a backstory. Maybe somebody got hit in the head early. Maybe somebody had a real bad fall, or something happened to them in preschool. They could have gotten some kind of, you know, injured or hurt it can come across as ruthless and not showing any compassion whatsoever. And so when people are in this space right here, like processing things, it's like, wow, like really? I mean, come on now, for real? Like, it's just shining a light on who's connected to whom. It's exposing secrets. Some people will take that information and just secretly kind of go away and just be overwhelmed. It drives somebody to drink. Some people will take that information and their compassion will overwhelm people because they see something from a higher frequency, and they strong. They not going away easily. They showing their compassion, and it's overwhelming because it's like, how in the world you had that many people sitting around in a circle and can't see that somebody is drinking themselves into oblivion? And everybody was like, well, I guess, they're just kind of, that's how everybody who want to be a star is. And people being ruthless, talking to them like they don't matter, or, and then somebody's son. But somebody in hermit mode picked up on something. That somebody was overwhelmed. So looking at the cards here, the Sun card speaks to near future. Joy, clarity, warmth returns. Spirit says your authenticity radiates now. Your light inspires others when you live from your higher truth. When you live from your higher truth. In other words, somebody trying to bring your past out. Somebody saying, oh, you were this person. And you, okay, and everybody has a past. Next. So what? Okay. And so what? Next. Everybody has a past. So what? But some people really would die of shame if people knew their past, right? Some people like, okay, some people need to start doing is asking somebody, straight up, have you ever been with another woman? Have you ever been with another man? Either it's yes or no. Okay, and so when you get the answer that you ask for an answer, and you get the response that you were seeking, okay, now the onus is on you. With adults, you don't have to beat around the bush. Just ask the question. Are you married or are you single? Y'all know what I'm saying? Like questions, like, are you married or are you single? That's a yes or no. Some people will flat out lie and say they're not married. So Source is trying to tell somebody, when you're dealing with certain things, it's just best to just come straight out with it. You're a fire sign. That's that. When we talk about masculine energy, it doesn't matter. That's where the masculine comes out. Whether you're in a man, woman, or a woman's body, right? So the purpose of the masculine is to hold a container for this creation and channel it to the right place. So you ask a question. Somebody says, let's use sex, for example, because we're talking about water here. This came out. You're seeing something from a higher frequency. If you ask a person, because we're talking about water, which is variety. You ask a person, which is sacral chakra energy, right? Have you ever slept with another man, or have you ever slept with another woman? And if they come back with something that you weren't expecting, but maybe they just flat out say yes. Okay. Yes. Oh, because I heard. You don't have to go through I heard. You just heard it from their mouth. You don't need to go through somebody told me. They just told you. You asked them a question, they just came out and told you. They exposed the secret. Like you just heard it from the horse's mouth. Of course, obviously that's it. But you just heard it directly from them. They said, yeah. Okay, next. Obviously, they don't have a problem. They're not overwhelmed by something. Obviously, other people are overwhelmed by something. That's why they're keeping stuff a secret, to try to use it against somebody later. But if you're hearing it directly from a person, then, okay, what's the problem? What is the problem? Because at that point, somebody is above judgment. So if you come back, let's say somebody asks you that question and somebody starts judging you, at that point, they ain't receiving mode of whatever you send. Okay, I contain myself. Okay, so now I'm respond because you're in judgment mode, right? You receive information you asked. Okay, sending and receiving, communication, sending and receiving. Communication sometimes looks like once a person judges you, you don't say anything, you just walk away. That's communication that speaks very loud. So somebody are seeing how some people are overwhelmed by your past, or they can be overwhelmed by someone else's past, right? Or overwhelmed by their own past. How they can be overwhelmed if the secret came out about so-and-so or whoever. Are you related to so-and-so? In a good way or bad way. Somebody could find out they were related to a very famous person and be like, oh my God, I had no idea I was related to that person, right? It could be overwhelming for some people, right? And so you're shining a light on something, is just how some people could perceive passion is you're learning how to kind of sort of tailor it to whoever you're talking to. Right, that's what I'm seeing here. So you see yourself as a seeker and a visionary. Spirit affirms, but encourages focus. Your fire is sacred, but it must move with intention. What is the intention of talking to a person a certain kind of way? What is the intention with that? What's the intention of asking a question? What is the intention? Because some people will return that same fire the same way it came back, right? Some people, they'll buckle and fold, and it's overwhelming for them, right? If somebody come back respectfully with the same, if they're assertive, right? That's not disrespectful. That's being assertive. They're coming right back. Oh, okay. You got your answer. Right? Or asking somebody, because the variety of things. Somebody was saying that somebody was a part of a sex ring. Right? That two people were a part of a sex ring. That's what this is. I would come straight out and ask a person. I would, that's just me. I would just ask a person. If I heard something like that, the first thing that would come across my mind would be compassion. Not just passion, compassion. If I heard that about somebody, I knew, or just period. Are you safe? Are you safe? That's the compassion. Are you safe? And what can I do to get you to safety? Those are my questions. What can I do to get you to safety? Is anybody I can call? You need somewhere to stay? What can I do to get you to safety? That's just how I'm built. I'm going to ask somebody that. I'm not sitting secretly because I'm worried about them wanting to know. They're going to find out I'm a part of a secret society, or if I am or not. Because people are ruthless. People are freaking ruthless out here and saying stuff. And so somebody is getting karma. There's another Sagittarius is getting karma. So, and you are the one that's their karma. So whoever you are. But here we have Hermit. So external energies invite introspection. And so Spirit asks you to embrace solitude. Somebody could have a Sagittarius moon that's getting karma right now for what they did to a Taurus moon. And you don't need the time of birth to pull birth charts. Just to bring a tower down on an Aquarius. Right? That's in Hermit mode. Somebody wants to be ruthless to someone's son who, because they're the soulmate here, they wanted to do something that would travel all around the world. Your sign is known for traveling, but something would travel all around the world. They said something to somebody that was ruthless. And so to the Hermit card, again, external energies invite introspection. Spirit asks you to embrace solitude. It's through silence that divine revelation arrives. When people belong to these secret organizations and stuff like that and don't want people to know, people tell on themselves more than they realize. They do. They tell on themselves more than they realize. It's one thing to, like I said, know about it. It's another thing you expose yourself when you're exposing it. When you're exposing secrets, you're basically saying, hey, I'm exposing secrets. It doesn't mean that you were always a part of something. It could mean that you've learned best practice. It's like literally like this. It's like you may not have experienced everything that happened in the Bible, but you read it from cover to cover. You became intimate with the stories. You are familiar with the stories, right? And so the main thing here is to not become impulsive, right? Go to a higher self, go to a higher self about something. That's the main thing here. Because something that someone said ruthlessly about somebody who was in hermit mode was not true at all. And so here we have the hopes and fears, 2 of Cups. You long for harmony and understanding, yet fear emotional vulnerability. Spirit says compassion is the key to connection. Authenticity invites alignment. And the outcome for you is completion and ascension. So Spirit confirms you're closing a karmic cycle. Your soul steps into higher vibration of wisdom, peace, and divine fulfillment. So this week for you, Sagittarius, actually Spirit invites you to journey within to find adventure and awareness and expansion in compassion, right? So you are a philosopher, the wanderer, the light that learns by love. And so trust your path, release what no longer serves your truth, and remember your soul's freedom comes from not from escape, but from enlightenment. So sending everybody lots of love and light. Let's see what these pink cards, what's going on in these pink cards. Somebody's learning how to resolve something within themselves from their own past. And a lot of people are, you know, like if it was like plain language, you know, like a lot of people who have gone through some stuff in their own past are just saying they're not judging people. Like even if like I guess, like, say for instance, the term that people use is to try to make people feel bad, like calling them a baby mama. They were basically saying they've never been married. I guess that's what it means. So somebody correct me if I'm wrong. Or baby daddy, like they've never been married, or if it's a certain point. I don't know if I'm not even using the term right or wrong. But even if you're a person who has kids and you were married prior to prior to getting married or something like that, and a person wants to believe that, let's say they don't know. Like one time I worked with this woman who was a widower. I think that's what you call women. So widower, and I think her husband had transitioned. It was in a car accident, and so she instantly became a single mom, right? And so people wouldn't know that unless they knew that other major part, like that her husband had transitioned, right? So in that, there could be a lot of people don't know certain things about people and talk to them a certain kind of way when other people could know certain secrets. Like she's sharing that with me. We're working on a project together. This was many, many years ago. We were working on a project together, and I think she had twins, and they'll never know, their father, because he transitioned. And it's that kind of thing. Somebody was, like I said before, trying to bring a tower down in a situation, not knowing a full whatever. So here we have, speak something into existence. Drink more water as a form of self-care. Much better lies ahead. Heart chakra cleanse. Somebody apologizes for hurting you. Somebody secretly has a crush on you. Prepare for an increase in pay. Somebody never stopped loving you. Your next love interest will make you happier. Oops. Somebody has a demon of lust, which is a real demon for some people. Some people really are struggling, with that. It's like a demon of gluttony for some people. Until you've seen a person sit there where everything goes blank when they start bringing out dinner plates and trays of food and whatever's on the trays, and it's like they went to a whole nother place because the food has been brought out. You had asked them, anything. They gone. All they can do is they smell the scent of a food, whatever food they're ready to eat, you know. So you are an answered prayer. You're an answered prayer. You see things from a higher frequency. So if somebody's a succubus, you're relaxing. You are who they prayed for. You are who they prayed for. All right. So family. Yeah, family is important. Family is very, very important, right? You have a lot of ancestors around. You may see a lot of birds around you. Basically, your ancestors, basically, you're safe. You and your family are safe. But you also want to, again, pay attention to, you know, everything that's around you. Start being tapped in. Get your rest. So when you really say rise and shine, you really will be rising and shining, you know, on the light side of your emotions. That's the light side of the moon. That's your emotions, right? Getting your rest. So a lot of secrets that you want to know about will come through your dreams. They will. Daydreams, night dreams, that in-between state. When you're like, okay, why is my scalp itching? Why, you know, veins, you know, that I see a vision of some veins popping out of somebody's neck and pictures, and you're praying about it, asking source, what was that dream? Was it a dream for me? Was it about somebody else? Like what did that mean? Right? Acceptance, radical acceptance, and the now opens the flow. So that's what I'm seeing for you all. Let's pull an intention card and let's go ahead and close it out. So you're preparing for an increase in pay. Eagles fly above crows. Yeah. You can't carry everybody on your back. You're trying to ascend higher. You're trying to carry everybody's emotions on your back. You know, somebody believed this about somebody. They believe that about somebody. Hey, guess what? Everybody has a past. And so, you know, source is saying you're choosing to, even in your own family, even could be somebody you married to, used to be married to, was thinking about marrying, whatever. People gonna believe what they want to believe about you. Doesn't make it true. So, but much better lies ahead. And so you're doing a heart chakra cleanse. You're making connections. You're starting to make connections like within yourself. It's like, okay, heart chakra connects us with the basic need of love and need to be loved and to love, right? And so everybody wants to be loved and everybody wants to love, operate in the spirit of love. Like even if people are rising above judging someone's past, like I said before, somebody could have been a part of a ring. Somebody could have not known they were part of something. Somebody could have dated the same sex or the opposite sex. Somebody could have somebody could have not known they were adopted. I mean, for real, like it's a whole lot of stuff people may not know about their own family, for real. Somebody could have been born into a cult, didn't know it, for real. And so something could have just been overwhelming, you know, for some people. But some people learn how to rise above it. They learn how to say, okay, I'm not carrying other people's, you know, secrets on my back. I'm trying to ascend higher. And that's what they do. They ascend higher. They're not judging people. They're just ascending higher. They're just saying they don't want to be a part of certain stuff. So if something has come to light, somebody's like, no, they don't want to be a part of something. Because it's overwhelming to, it's been overwhelming to, where's the card? It was overwhelming to a soulmate. Imagine, and I'm going to close reading out here. Imagine a loved one joins something and they go through the process and they're so overwhelmed by something and you don't know how they're overwhelmed, right? And because it's a secret, right? And then somebody invites you to be a part of something, but they're doing it secretly, right? They're trying to test your temperament. They're trying to see if they can get away with certain things. astral projection, doing all kinds of stuff, but secretly seeing what they can get away with to see if you have a temper, if you're going to flip out on them or whatever, only to find out they cut themselves off from you. They cut themselves off from a soulmate that they've been praying for. God, I wish I could send me somebody who's a soulmate, who has the right temperament, you know, somebody who is, you know, a good person, somebody who's not, you jump into conclusions, somebody who's not impulsive, you know, somebody who's positive and high vibrational, somebody who is going to, you know, teach me about the secrets of this and that, you know, without me being overwhelmed or feeling like I should know this already. And then that comes across somebody's path. So you could be someone's karma. You literally could be someone's karma, because they act like they so holier than thou, so sanctified, so set apart. They have so many access to secrets, and they know this and that, but they're not doing anything except, you know, trying to compare their star is brighter than somebody else's star. And it's like, what? Oh, wait a minute now. What? Trying to pick out somebody else's, oh, they don't know this, they don't know that. Like, come on now, for real. So that's what I'm seeing for you all. I do see you showing yourselves some more compassion, because there's people out here everywhere. They really are. They're trying to show their star is shining brighter than everybody else's star. And but everybody has a past. So even if it's not your past, I see you showing compassion. You know, even if you're a passionate person, I see you showing some compassion. Because somebody's like, oh, they don't have enough passion. They're not compassionate enough. It's a competition. Just show some compassion. Show some emotion. Just something. So I'm seeing here, you know, this week for you invites you to a journey, you know, within, to find adventure and awareness and expansion in compassion, right? So you are a philosopher, a wanderer, light that learns love. So you got the point. This is what I have for you. Eagles fly above crows, right? That's what I have for you. So I'll see you in the next video. Bye.